Hey guys, Luna here, welcome back to another Skyrim Special Edition console mod video. Today's video is another top 5 of the week, and today is top 5 armor mods. There are always cool armor mods and armor related mods out, so we will try to make our top 5 armors a weekly video. Of course, don't forget our second weekly top 5 is voted by you guys, so keep your suggestions coming in for top 5 videos. So far, the two most popular are top 5 cosmetic mods and top 5 vampire mods, so they're looking to be the next two top 5s that we will go over, on top of the top 5 armors of course. So guys, we have 5 mods to look at, so let's jump into our first mod of the day. The first two mods we have are refined armor textures. First up, the refined Dwarven texture mod. This aims to change the overall appearance of the Dwarven set to match better with the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. The set is a metallic grey with a bluish iron tint when indoors, and a warmer bronze tint when you are outdoors. And that's only light refraction and not the actual armor color that changes, so don't worry. Since it's just an armor retexture, there's not much to go over for this armor, but it definitely makes it way better looking and it's definitely worth checking out. Next up we have another simple one, but a nice change. The mod makes the change to the Nightingale Armor to be double the resolution of the original armor and makes it a little darker as well. It definitely looks much better now in 2K textures. I can't tell if you guys can tell exactly how cool this mod looks, because over the past few days my armors have been switching between blurry and being crystal clear, so I can't really tell which one you guys are seeing. But either way, it definitely is much better than the vanilla one. I might even install an unenchanted version of the Nightingale Armor to put my own enchantments on it and use this as my main armor for a while, as it looks really cool. So the two refined armor mods are both worth checking out. The mods simply make the texture different and improved, but don't affect anything else like the armor's stats or anything. Since those mods were very small and didn't take up much time, I will throw in a bonus mod for you guys that I came across, which is really nice. Do you have what it takes to be the fabled Grey Cowl of Nocturnal? This mod sets you on a short clever quest to prove you're worthy of the Great Cowl. Complete it to earn a completely fictional, better than the original, Cowl of the Grey Fox. A really fun nostalgic mod that really brings back memories of playing Oblivion for me anyway, and I thought this mod was worth mentioning. I didn't really want to make it its own part of the video, so I just threw it in there for you guys. Okay, next up, so if you're looking for a really cool armor, or you're a fan of the Fable games, I definitely am, but more the older Fables. They kind of went downhill after Fable 3, I think. But anyway, you can now get yourself the Heatplate Armor from the game. To get them, they can be crafted at any forge. The player must obtain the Steel Smithing perk to craft the Standard Plate Armor, Daedric Smithing perks to craft the Dark and Bright Plate Armors, and the Dragon Armor perk to craft the Archon Battle Armor, which is the 3 ones that you get with the mod. Well, they definitely look cool, but what about damage resistance? Well, the Hero Bright Armor is just a bit better than the Dragonbone Heavy Armor, so it's very strong. The Hero Dark Armor is the same as the Hero Bright in terms of damage resistance, so they're both powerful, but they can also be upgraded again, if you want to, by upgrading the helmets to the Demon one for the Dark Armor, and the Holy one for the Bright Armor, and I definitely suggest that as they look much better. You also get with the mod the Archon's Battle Armor, which is even stronger than both of the Hero Armors as well, and it also looks really cool. All the armors can be refined and enchanted of course to make them even more powerful, and you can mix and match any of the sets if you want to give yourself some unique looking armor. Overall, this one's definitely worth the download as it's one of the cooler looking armors actually in the game. Even if you're not a fan of Fable, it's worth checking out. Our fourth mod, well technically our fifth one now, is the Common Clothes mod. There are actually 2 versions of this mod, and they're the same size, so having both is going to take up around 500 megabytes. Pretty big, but it adds a lot to the game. The 2 versions are the craftable version and the leveled version. Now this is an armor video, but since the 2 mods are linked, we will talk about the clothing a little bit, but we're mostly going to look at the armors. The leveled version of the mod is simply to add to the game the clothing and the armors to the leveled list, so they can be found as loot in dungeons, in shops, and so on. If you just want to find these armors at the tanning rack and the forge, then you can just download the craftable version. This adds all the armors to the forge and the tanning rack. So what does the mod add exactly? Well, it mostly adds in loads and loads of brand new clothing. However, it does add in some armors. Each of the armors is unique, and they are not any of the armors or clothing that you can find in vanilla Skyrim, so they're all brand new. None of them are heavy armors either, they're mostly all based on leather armors and different light armors, in order to make them all look more like clothing than actual armor, which is a really nice touch, as personally I like wearing clothing kind of instead of armors as well. In terms of damage resistance, they are all pretty similar to Imperial Armor, which is the category you will find most of them all in the Forge. If you want to, again, they can all be refined and enchanted in order to make them more powerful. Overall, a really cool mod. I didn't have time to go through every single one, but there are loads of different clothing and armors, and they definitely add in a lot of variety for you to choose from, so I definitely recommend downloading this and trying it out for yourself. Our final mod of the day is the Necromancer Lord Armor. It's made by Lagri, the master of all things armor it seems, and so you should already know that this mod is worth downloading, but we can take a look anyway. Like so many of his armors, we get a bit of lore for the armor. Mordheim got his nickname Necromancer Lord quickly. He became famous with the vampires, necromancers, and even Dremora alike. They say he walks the planes of life and death and can summon undead to do his bidding. Like every other necromancer, he can summon undead, Daedra, and even create his own bone servants. The only limit is his lifespan. The problem is, no one knows how long he has lived. To get the armor, go to the Broken Fang Cave, the Lord Necromancer will be there. Slay him to get the armor and the sword which he carries, which is compatible with both male and female bodies. Once you finally acquire it, you get the cuirass, the boots, the helmet, and the gauntlets, along with the one-handed sword. The sword in terms of damage is around 3 times more powerful than any vanilla one-handed sword, so it's very strong. The armor's damage resistance are around the same as Daedric, so it's not overpowered, but it's still strong enough to be worn as your main armor. Finally, both weapons and armors can be refined and enchanted like anything else. The only problem I had with this one is that unlike a lot of other of Lagri's armors, this one was really easy to acquire. Usually the boss fights are extremely difficult, which I really enjoyed. So hopefully he pumps up the difficulty a little bit in trying to get this armor. Not Dark Souls difficulty, but still a bit more. So overall, a really awesome looking and powerful set of armor and weapon that you should definitely add to your collection of Lagri armor mods. Well guys, there we have it, 5 or 6 actually awesome armor mods from the last week on Xbox One. As always guys, like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all next time for another Skyrim console mod video. See you all then.